Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Direct Battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Battle-Hardened Foes. This is the movie bosses challenge for stage 9. So a pretty decent event. Obviously this was, I guess people called it like the updated ESBR, SBR. Don't know, it feels like a lot of fights are that now. I mean, Union Master also feels that way. So, yeah, it is a little bit more interesting, I guess. But basically, to cut a long story short, you will face 3 opponents. Those 3 opponents have multiple phases. So, the first one we face Beerus and Whis, who then turn into Beerus. Then face Frieza Final Form, who turns into Golden Frieza. And then we face Broly, who turns into Super Saiyan Broly, and Super Saiyan Broly Full Power. Now, Beerus and Whis, basically, they have a 2 million super, 100 million health. Now, an important thing before I go into all the details, all the bosses have not a lot of health. So all the bosses have a very mediocre amount of health. We're talking 100 to 150 HP, million in total. So it's not a huge amount. It's not a huge, massive amount of health by today's standards, but it is still obviously something that players need to a certain extent deal with. A lot of the times your key to victory in Battle-Hardened Foes is hitting hard and hitting fast. You want units that start out very quick, don't need a lot of build up time, can hit very very hard right out the gate, or have mechanics that kick in very early so that you can make very good light work of the event. So we have first up Beerus and Whis. So in both phases, Beerus gains attack buffs based on certain conditions. So Beerus and Whis have 100 million health, 700k normals, 2 million supers. They gain attack every 4-3 turns from the character's entry, 50%. And they attack of 100% when HP is 40% or less. Because of how low their health is, you can very easily take them out before any of this really kicks in. We take a look at Beerus. Beerus is kind of the same. Attack of 30% up on the 3rd turn from his entry, attack of 8% up with each attack received, attack of 20% when the Realm of the Gods category present character is present. What the hell, I just yodered it. But anyway, basically Beerus is relatively strong, but again, because of his health and because of everything, he is a fairly solid unit. Then we take on Frieza. Frieza has 2 phases. Frieza Final Form with a 2.8 mil super, 90 million HP. He reduces enemies' defense by 5% with each attack received. He takes, with each attack received, no more than 50%. And then he gets enemies' attack minus 20% as well. So he's kind of debuffing you. It's very irritating. Your goal is to not really spend too long on him. You don't want him to catch you with a flash super somewhere. He gets attack at 20% when the movie Heroes category character is present. We don't have to worry about that. Then we have Golden Frieza, 150 million HP. He has 1.5 million normals, 4.5 million super. Immune to sealing, immune to stunning. He has 50% additional attack up when HP is 30% or less. And damage reduction rate of -3 with each turn passed, no more than -30. His attack of -7 with each attack received, no more than -20%. So hitting him nice and quickly with multiple attacks will help you to kind of take the edge off of his supers. But in general, obviously, you do have to be a little bit aware of the potential damage that he can cause. His immunity to being stunned and sealing means that you don't have a lot of control here. But you can attack lower him, so you can attack lower him on top of his attack lowering that he gets from each attack received. And so the two can combine to kind of really reduce the threat level that he has, which is very solid and very good. And then, obviously, we move on to Broly. So Broly is a 3-phase fight. Broly, instead of having 2 phases, will have 3. His first 2 phases are very similar in level to the first 2, Frieza and the Beerus and Whis. It's the final phase where things get a little bit choppy, but we'll deal with that when we get there. So with Frieza, my suggestion, honestly, again, is just hitting hard and fast. It sounds very facetious to say, but you have the tech Golden Frieza who provides you with some really good protection and damage. I would suggest leaving his taunt to take on this phase specifically. So then we obviously move into Broly. Now Broly has 90 million HP in the first phase, 700k normals, 1.9 million super, attack of 26% up for the first 3 turns, and then minus 7% defense with each unarmed super attack received. This isn't anything crazy, because honestly his defense is not super high. So there's really not like a huge kind of holdback on him. I think this phase very much is very straightforward. You shouldn't really struggle with it openly. I think you can clear it in 1 turn with a very good team, obviously. Super Saiyan Broly, the next phase. He has 120 mil health, so 30 mil up, 1.2 mil normals, 3.3 million in terms of his super attack. And he grants immunity to being stunned, so that's something to deal with. He has defense of 200% for 7 turns from his entry, so that is a little bit annoying. He has attack of 6% with each turn passed, up to 26%. And attack of 26% when a fused fighter's category character is present. Now because we'll be using the friend tech Golden Frieza, who also has Gogeta on his team, or on his categories, you will have this active. In terms of the difficulties of dealing with the Super Saiyan Broly, I don't think it's too bad. But you do have to obviously factor in that he's going to probably be a little bit tougher than you think. And then we take on Super Saiyan Full Power Broly. So he's 150 mil HP, 1.5 mil attack. He does a 4.2 million AoE super, and then does a 4.5 single attack super. The AoE super is the biggest issue, because chances are it's going to go off at least once. And even with things like a taunt from Golden Frieza, that doesn't intercept the AoE attacks. So ultimately you either have to defeat Broly in the 2 seconds that you get to face him before he AoEs, or you have to kind of build your team around them all either evading it or all of them nullifying it, which is fairly possible. But for this challenge I felt like it is really quite fine to just kind of go with an item that just saves you a lot of problems. Just throw in an item, hit a Whis, hit a King Yama, hit a whatever, and just make it work from there. Broly hits for 4.2 on the AoE, 4.5 on a single target. He nullifies super attacking and sealing, and stunning. He has his damage reduction raised before receiving 10 attacks. So what is very irritating about Broly is you also have to do 10 attacks to him before you can really kind of do big damage to him. So that also stalls things and delays things, which is why you have a decent chance of being hit with that AoE. And then on top of that, he has attack of 6% up with each attack received, which can also be very frustrating and difficult to deal with. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I don't think Broly is impossible to deal with. I just find him very annoying to deal with. The AoE certainly throws a spanner in the works in terms of iteming the event. This team can potentially do it, requires a little bit of luck, which for me is why I decided rather to do the item run challenge with another team. You need a little bit of AoE kind of prevention mechanisms that are a bit stronger. You know, things like evasion, things like counters, things like nullifications. These are very important, and we'll need these to really actually counteract the effects of Broly. This team, I'm sure you've noticed it by now, but your rotations will be AGL Frieza and the friend tech Golden Frieza. You have Tech Broly, which you can keep in base for the first turn always if you want to, but I just transform him. And the Strength LR Super Saiyan Broly on one rotation. Then Int Broly, Strength Broly, and Int Chinembo or Float. You don't really want to use the Int Broly active skill against the Super Saiyan Full Power Broly, because that's going to augment the AoE. So as much as it's, you know, something straightforward, you don't really want to augment that AoE. You don't want to have to deal with even more potential damage, especially if you're going to try and hazard the no item run with this team or something similar. It's definitely something I would not suggest overall. It's probably going to make you have a pretty bad time. But that's it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, it's greatly appreciated, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So until then, as always, take care, stay safe, and yeah, that's pretty much it from me. See you guys next time. Bye.